All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Langley, Virginia, home of the CIA. They are probably watching you right now. That's why you should stick around all night and watch this. Then they know you're watching some really good stuff. Some great racing here from the Northeast Racers here at Langley Speedway. Excuse me, let me make sure I give it its full name for once, at least once tonight. Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. 0.395 mile oval, 6-degree turns, 4-degree straightaways. And let's start off by talking about the current points battle. Randy Phillips is leading the points by about 8 points over Nathan Wenzel. Tony Quadros is in third at 118 points, followed by Eric Steele and Eric Pomasco. They are tied. Fourth and fifth are tied at 111 points, but from the first place back to the fifth place, right, fourth and fifth right now is just a 17-point difference. So any race along the way, this will only be the fifth race of the fourth race of the season. So any race could turn everything around at a moment's notice, depending on what happens. Specifically because these guys are the hardcore series. What do we mean by hardcore? What you start with is what you finish with. When you finish and how you finish is up to you. No tire changes, no fast repairs, nothing. If you get hurt, you can go in and manually repair it, but you're going to end up losing some laps, especially at a track here like Langley. As we watch the hop out here and watch the 03. That is Nathan Wenzel. He is currently second in points, just 8 points behind Randy Phillips. Does not look like Randy is on track at the moment. Just looking down the time list, Randy is currently 7th fastest. Nathan is 5th fastest. So that points gap, not a lot of points, just 8-point difference. That could close up a lot tonight. I expect a lot more green flag racing out of this track, and then they're going to prove me wrong. Just right there, the 03 gets the wall at the start-finish line and spins down to the inside. One of the things about this track is it's big and wide, and once the tires get worked in, it's pretty tame. As we watch the number 30, Kevin Pittsinger, he's actually third fastest on track right now. Fastest car on track right now is the 12 of Tony Quadros. So as these guys finish up their practice, and it looks like the 30's practicing finding the victory circle. And X-Cal chiming in, fast repairs are for babies. Keep it hardcore. And yes, indeed, this league does like to do that. And had a great broadcast last night with the X-Cowboys. That was some extremely exciting racing. And a first-time winner in that league. So great racing last night. And again, we have 2 races here tonight. We'll follow the Northeast Racers around Langley here. And immediately after that, you're not going to want to go anywhere. The Outcast SR8 series, the Michael Granel's SR8 series, is going to be going to the Monza Oval. From all the reports from practice and testing this week, the one word that keeps coming back up out of that series is insanity. That track is bumpy, rough, unstable. Several places where mid-corner you just the banking changes. It's nuts. It's patched on the back straightaway, so there's several places where you're transitioning from one type of pavement, concrete, asphalt to a different one, and it's gonna be nuts on that almost 3-mile track. So that will definitely be one to watch. You're not going to want to go anywhere. Right now, just a few minutes left in practice as the 03 goes spinning to the infield again. I think the 03 is trying to prove me wrong about having a clean race tonight. Now, it looks like we got some tandem spinning going on down on the infield. We'll have to go see what's going on there here in a minute. But these guys are raring to go. There goes the 32 into the wall. That was an interesting line by Eric Steele. He is currently fourth in points. He does not want to do that in the race. Trying to see if the 12 car is going to come back out. Our points leader does not look like Tony is coming back out. Just taking a quick look down. So Randy Phillips is our points leader. He is currently now 8th fastest on the track. Nathan Wenzel, he is 5th fastest on track. Tony Quadros, 3rd place in points, is fastest on track. And then we have the Erics. Let's just see where the Erics line up. And I keep forgetting we have 3 different Erics. Eric Pomasco is currently 13th fastest. Eric Steele is 10th fastest. So a lot of points on the line here tonight, depending on how this whole race plays out, is definitely going to be one heck of a battle all night long when these cars get going. Now, just a reminder, we will do some heats to set the starting lineup. And then we will go to the 75 lap feature. Getting some final notes from the booth here right quick. All right, looks like we have all of our final notes wrapped up just in time. As it looks like we have about a minute left in practice. Letting these guys get those last few laps in. I really wanted to see Tony and Randy turn some laps, but looks like as we get to the end of practice here, neither of them are going to get back on track, as Eric Steele is definitely out there trying to get some final fast laps in. Now with that 75 lap rate feature, they will not need fuel, so it comes down to simply driving it. Who can save it, make it last, make it the fastest, and last the longest tonight. And of course, who can avoid the prying eyes of the CIA tonight? Okay, I'll stop with the CIA jokes. I thought it was funny. Road Soda Randy Phillips. I did see a note about that earlier today, and I never got a chance to ask how he got the nickname Road Soda, but somebody's going to have to tell me that story at some point, because that is a lot of nicknames you can actually pick up, or at least get some glimmer of what it means. But Road Soda, I have no clue. That one is definitely different. So somebody definitely, after the race tonight, shoot me a message and explain that, please. I'm very curious. All right, checkered flag is in on practice. We're going to get ready to qualify. And since Randy has a fan club here tonight, what do you say we try and tune into his qualifying lap? Waiting to see if he's going to go out in qualifying. Some of these guys, the top guys from last week, will have to start in the back, so he may not qualify. Let's go watch the 12 of Tony Quadros until I see the 19. Yep, there's the 19. He's out on track. Gonna take a quick break here. I'll let you guys watch him while I catch my breath, and we will get started momentarily. All right, looks like they get 4 laps to qualify tonight. Most weeks it has been 2. I think 2 weeks ago at Lanier we had 3 laps for qualifying, but this week they get the extra laps of qualifying. And it looks like Tony Quadro so far has taken advantage of that. He is the fastest one thus far. Paul McCoubry, excuse me, is second fastest so far. Justin Prescott is third, and Mr. Randy Phillips, he is currently scored fourth fastest. Looks like we've got about 19 cars already qualified. He's got one last shot here to jump up there, but the leaders are all within, the top 10 cars are within 0.2 of a second. That tells you how competitive these guys are going to be tonight. And he finishes with style. Way to go, Randy. All right, should be just a couple of seconds. We'll see him start lining up for heat number 1. Looks like we've got a total of, doing some math here, 22 racers for tonight. They will have a warm-up right after the heats. We'll be able to determine the starting order at that point in time. Right now, I can tell you Tony Quadros is the fastest qualifier. Randy Phillips came in 5th. Paul McCoubry, Justin Prescott, Eric Steele, and Kevin Pitzinger. It looks like Kevin just bumped Randy out of 5th. Then you've got Randy Phillips, Eric Laurendeau, Jarrett Curtis, Nathan Wenzel, and Jason Pelkey round out the 10 fastest qualifiers. Jeffrey Battle, Drew Davis, Jeffrey Ramsdale, Thomas Johnson, Ryan Courier, Dean Webb, Eric Pomasco, Daniel Sweeney, Dustin Thibodeau, and my buddy, the Cupcake 74, James Seagroves DeCourcy, was back there in about 20th, so we'll be cheering Cupcake on as we cheer on the others tonight. If you've got a favorite driver, drop his name in when we get to the feature. We will definitely try and get a look at him. Maybe ride along in the car with him at some point tonight, as we often do. And there is him, the Cupcake himself, James Seagroves DeCourcy, back there at the back of the pack. Up front, we do have the 58 and the 22. Whoops. And of course, there is the 19, or as it's reading on the car, the 99. That is Randy Phillips there on the inside, third row. Come on, pace car, get going. I know it's a Ford, but you can get it started, buddy. And once this drops, we will be very quickly between this 8-lap heat, the next 8-lap heat. I believe at most we're going to have 3 heats tonight, might just be 2. And then we'll move to the feature. You can see these guys are getting just as anxious as I'm seeing flames out the exhaust back here. These guys are revving it up, trying to tell that Ford pace car, get moving, buddy, we're ready to go. While we're waiting on them to crank up, don't forget to check out the sponsors for tonight and for every week thus far, TRStheracing.school.net. That is a racing school at a track in the Northeast. They go up, you can go up there, get lessons with a driving instructor, and drive an actual race car around an actual racetrack in real life. Not iRacing, but the real deal. You can feel the track beneath your feet. You can feel the 4 tires and the power of one of these race cars. So definitely go check them out. Also check out LFOD Motorsports. Thank both of our sponsors for coming on and sponsoring this series. Now the same rules do apply in the heats that are in the feature. No fast repairs, no extra tires. They shouldn't need either in the 8-lap heats, but you kind of know how it goes sometimes. Get to bumping and banging. Now these cars are 3,400 pounds and right at 350 horsepower. So not a big power to weight ratio. They don't go the fastest, but they can take quite a beating. And you will see them leaning on each other especially on these flat tracks, you'll see some of these guys down on the inside. The back end tries to kick around on them, and they fighting for every inch they can get. And they will lean on the outside car because 8 tires is better than 4. But right now we've got a bunch of tires going green. Green flag is in the air for heat number 1. Thomas Johnson already trying to break away from the 22. Drew Davis. Jason Pelkey back there in the 3rd row. On the inside, he is trying to get a run. And then looks like the 19, Randy Phillips, already trying to make a move there. Looks like he moves up. He's already up to 3rd. That was one heck of a power move. He gets way loose coming through 3 and 4. Manages to gather it back up. Still side by side right at the front, the 64 and the 58. Thomas Johnson in the 58, and they finally get it lined out. The 64, Jason Pelkey, takes the lead, and he's starting to take off already. Now the 58 is going to have to deal with pressure from behind because here comes the 19, the 19 of Randy Phillips underneath Thomas Johnson. Looks like he's going to clear him coming out of turn 2 as the 33, Jarrett Curtis, starts to come up. 17's got some problems down on the inside. That is Dean Webb. Looks like he might have a blown motor. Halfway through this 8-lap heat, the 19 was way loose coming into turn 1. Looks like he might be struggling just a little bit with the handling on the car every now and then, but he's managing to drive through it pretty well as he is running down Jason Pelkey right now. In fact, the last few times by, he's been as much as a 1/10 of a second faster. The 33 of Jarrett Curtis manages to complete the pass, moves up into 3rd. Now we've got right behind him the 31 of Daniel Sweeney. There is Daniel in the red and black car that says number 12, but it's actually the number 31 car. He is now up into 4th place. He's got Thomas Johnson slipping way back. 2 laps to go, 1 lap to go. 64 is still leading him around. The question is going to be if the 19 of Randy Phillips can run him down. Does not look like he can get it done. Half a second between them going into turn 3. Randy sends it in there hard. He is pushing that thing hard, but not enough at the end. Jason Pelkey, Randy Phillips, Jarrett Curtis, Daniel Sweeney, and Thomas Johnson round out the top 5. Drew Davis, Cupcake, come home 6th and 7th. Now we line up for heat number 2. Everybody take a deep breath. You're going to need it. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one that's going to need it. Got the 46, Eric Laurendeau, down there to the inside. The 471 there, that is Eric Pomasco, excuse me. And the 3 is trying to push the pace car. That is an eager driver right there. And there's that Tide 07 car on the outside. We have seen that guy have some problems over the last few weeks. That first week at USA, he really struggled. He just had the worst luck. Came back the next week at Lanier and was pretty strong. Pulled off a top 5 finish, but last week he really wasn't in contention. So hopefully this week we'll see him back up front. After that USA race, I'm really rooting for the guy to have some sort of good luck at one of these races, pull off the win finally, because he's definitely had an up and down season so far. Pace car coming out of 2. Chris Standridge thinks he jinxed the 22 car. That could be a possibility. Hopefully the 22 car has a good run tonight in both these cars and in the SR8s. Here we go. Green flag is underway. Ryan Courier off to a good start in the 3 car. Jeffrey Ramsdale falls in line in 2nd. Let's see if Jeffrey can hang on to the back end of the 3, maybe get the pass for the lead. The 14 of Jeffrey battling for 3rd, and he's got his hands full with Nathan Wenzel back there in 4th in the 03 car. Looks like the 471 is falling backwards quickly. Eric Pomasco, he has fallen way back, currently scored in 6th. I think he's going to come across the line in 7th. And we've got one spinning on the front stretch. We'll see if caution comes out. Looks like he might have straightened it up. And we remain, nope, we have the first caution of the night. Let's see if we can see what happened here. All right, we are looking at the 46 of Eric Laurendeau there in the red car as he comes through 3 and 4. Just got too low, got a little loose, smacked the inside wall. And when he got back on track trying to get going again, that brought us under caution as the leaders were coming around. Back up front, it is the 3-car Ryan Courier. There's the 3-car of Ryan Courier. He's got Jeffrey Ramsdell right behind him. Jeffrey battles back in 3rd. In 4th place is the 03 of Nathan Wenzel. Right behind him is the 471. That is Eric Pomasco. He started up towards the front, and he has fallen back to 6th so far tonight. But in these short little heats, it's hard to get the tires and get situated and get a rhythm. So that could be part of his problem tonight. We've seen him be a really good driver. Been really fast at a couple of these races. This bigger flat track, though, might be giving him some problems tonight. They will have should have a 2-wide restart and should be getting 1 to green. Yes, indeed, 1 to green. Caution laps do not count in this series. So we will get to see this thing finish under green. Is it just me, or are the really awesome signs in the background? Sometimes you just get distracted reading them. Green flag is in the air. 3 gets another good jump on the restart, and the 14 is coming to the inside. Jeffrey Battles moves up into 2nd. The 07 is falling back fast. He did not get a good restart. He is currently back about 5th place and trying to fight his way back up. As we reach halfway, and he is in the wall, caution is out. Looks like the 07's bad luck might be continuing here tonight as we see him come out of 3 and 4. He's got the 03 down to the inside, just gets loose, collects the 21, and they both go into the wall. That is Dustin Thibodeau in the 21. Looked like he was upside down and had to get a tow. And here comes the field catching back up. Dustin Thibodeau is on pit road at the moment. Taking a quick look. The 46 is back on track. Back at the back of the field, and it looks like he is being scored on the lead lap. That is one advantage these drivers do have by caution laps not counting. That does help keep them on the lead lap. It makes it easier if they get a couple laps down or have an issue like we've seen with a couple of cars so far. If they have those issues, they have a better chance of staying in contention. However, once they get into that 75 lap feature, all bets are off. Once you've damaged that car, your race may be done. We've seen 1 or 2 races that became a race of attrition, so especially on these short tracks when you're beating and banging, and the track is less than half a mile. Even as wide as this track is, you've seen them nose to tail, side by side. They're not going to give an inch. They're getting as close to that preferred line as possible to make those passes. 1 to green. See him line back up side by side. The 14 of Jeffrey Battles has been working his way forward since this thing began. He managed to take second place from the 07 on that last restart. 07 fell way back. We'll see if the 14 can hold his position and if the 07 can make a comeback now. Coming out of turn 3 into 4. Pace car is off. Ryan leads him down. Green flag is in the air. 14 does not miss a step. He actually gets into turn 1 a little bit faster, but the 3's getting off a little bit faster. They are side by side coming out of 2, banging doors going into turn 3. This is going to be a side-by-side battle for the lead, but it looks like the 3 might come out ahead. The 21 is coming off pit road, but the preferred line does go down there just below the yellow line, and the 14 is way down underneath the 3 car this time by. 14, heck of a battle for the lead. He gets down in there, last lap. 471 looked like he was trying to take advantage. 3 pulls the crossover move. He's down to the inside. He's got the nose in going into turn 3. You see those brakes lighting up. He's trying not to slide up. The 14 gets loose, and the 3 pulls it off at the end. The 14 and the 471 wreck, but it's after the line. Ryan Courier wins heat number 2. Eric Pomasco comes in second. Now for the 2-minute warm-up. Oh my goodness, what a finish to the second heat. All right, while we're waiting for them to take off, I can tell you that Kevin Pitzinger will be starting on the pole with Eric Steele to the outside, it looks like. Justin Prescott, Paul McCubry, Tony Quadros round out your top 5. Jason Pelkey, Ryan Courier, Randall Phillips, Eric Pomasco, and Jarrett Curtis will round out your top 10. We'll go over the rest of them once the race starts, or once they get done with their warm-up session. But while we're looking at the 12 car, we'll take a quick ride around the track with him. You can see what this track is like in traffic. And as soon as I hop in, they decided to do tandem spinning. They are putting on a show for you guys. Do you see that? All 3 of them spun together. It was like poetry in motion. Let's see if we can step back here. I do believe that's a 32 right in front of him. And there they go, tandem spinning off too. It looks like the 12 car got a little bit out of rhythm on that tandem spin, but he still got his spin in. And the 12 managed to keep going. And Chris said, yes, it is really decent of them staying up out of that line, letting that car come off pit road. These guys are a really great group of guys to race with and run with, just like the Outcast boys that are coming up later tonight. Those guys are pretty cool. But right now, it is time to hop in the cars for the 75 lap, feature event. We went through the top 10. Let's get the 11th through 14th. Jeffrey Battles is in 11th. Daniel Sweeney 12th. Nathan Wenzel 13th. He is second in points. Nathan Wenzel is 14th is Thomas Johnson. Dana Shepard is 15th. Drew Davis 16th. Eric Laurendeau 17th. Cupcake James Seagroves de Courcy is 18th. 19th is Jeffrey Ramsdale. Dean Webb is 20th. Dustin Thibodeau is 21st. And Jonathan is 22nd, rounding out the field. Let's see where our points leader, Randy Phillips, is going to be starting in 8th. Nathan Wenzel, we mentioned, starts back in 13th. Tony Quadros, third in points. He is starting fifth. So definitely some of these guys have the opportunity to gain some points here tonight. But these front cars are definitely going for more than just points. These guys are wanting to get that first win in. Pace car leading them down. All 22 cars going on track now. Don't forget to stick around immediately after this. We will switch over to the Outcast SR8 guys at the Monza Oval. That is one that might leave me speechless tonight. I'm anticipating that one a lot. Last week at Pocono was a blast, and really looking forward to tonight. And don't forget to tune in Sunday night for the BRR boys, Monday nights for the Outcast Dirt guys, and Tuesday nights, of course, for the ex-Cowboys. A lot of great broadcasts, a lot of great racing all week long. You definitely do not want to miss a single thing, but right now we do not want to miss this battle, this race, as the pace car ducks off. Northeast Racers, green flag is in the air. Kevin Pitzinger leads them down into turn one, and it looks like there might already be some side-by-side and three wide back behind. The 32 is dropping back. The 44, Justin Prescott, takes advantage. I don't think the 32 had a very good 1 and 2. Looked like he was just slow through the corners, had a good restart, but gave the 30 a chance to get away just a little bit. Drop back to the 32 of Eric Steele back there in third. He is back, seems to be on pace with everybody right now. And there is, right behind him is the 471 in fifth place. Eric is currently tied for fourth in the points, and Eric Steele is 2 places in front of him. So you know these two, we're going to see them racing each other extremely hard tonight. There is the 03, Nathan Wenzel. Second in points, right behind him, Paul McCoubry in the... Oh my goodness, Paul, you were sideways, buddy. Way to save it, though. That was a great save by the 87 as the 33 of Jarrett Curtis slips by. Jason Pelkey in the 44, stalking both of them in the back. Jason Pelkey, we don't talk about him a lot. There's Jason in the 64. We don't talk about him a lot early in the race as the 12 car is off in the grass. 64 doesn't get talked about a lot in the early going, but he definitely is one that comes to at the end of the race. He is coming forward. '87 and 43 battling right behind them. That is the 87 of Paul McCoubry and Dana Shepard. Dana is new this week, I do believe. Randy Phillips, points leader. He started in 8th. He has dropped back to 15th. Not sure what's happening there. There's Randy. He is all the way back in 15th. Hopefully he can start making a move to the front, but right now at the front is the number 30 car, and he's starting to open up a little bit of a gap. He's got about a 7/10 of a second lap gap on Justin Prescott in the 44 car. Hopefully he is saving some tires. They do not get another set of tires, so hopefully these boys are saving a little something for the later in the race. 11 laps in, they do not want to burn their stuff up yet. And it looks like the 32 of Eric Steele is starting to come back. He had a little trouble on the first few laps, but he is starting to pick up the pace again. He is closing back down on the back bumper of the 44. And right behind him It is the Eric and Eric show. It's Eric Steele in third in the 32. Eric Pomasco in the 471 in fourth. That is a battle both on the track and off. They are tied in points, so one of them wants to break that tie tonight. And it looks like the 12 of Tony Quadros is back on track, but he is now back in 19th place. There is Tony Quadros in the 12 car, back in 19th place, so that's going to hurt him if Randy Phillips, points leader, is not far ahead of him, so they're both going to lose some points if they don't make up some spots rather quickly. And, of course, right there in the 16th place car, the number 74, that is Cupcake James Seagroves DeCourcy. Got the nickname at his local track in real life, and it has stuck. He uses it everywhere he goes, and it's hilarious. Back up front, no major changes quite yet. Still got second, third, and fourth. Justin Prescott, Eric Steele, Eric Pomasco, all right there together as Kevin Pitzinger is running off from him now. He's got a 1.7 second lead on Justin Prescott. Nathan Wenzel started in 13th. He is now up to 5th place and coming forward quick, but the fastest lap tonight so far has been by the 33 car, Jarrett Curtis. He is on a tear. He started in 10th, up to 6th place, and so far he has had the fastest lap of the race by quite a bit, to be honest. He's had a full 10th of a second faster than anybody else on his fastest lap. Caution is out on lap number 21. Alrighty, let's see what happens here. We're looking at the 87 car, Paul McCobry. Coming out of turn 4, got too high, had to check up to stay out of the number 12 car, spun down to the infield and brought us under caution. Manages to recover, get it back on track. I don't think he'll have any damage or any long-term problems, but we will see how that plays out. He was up front battling earlier in the race, but he has had a few struggles tonight, so we'll see if he can make a comeback. But the one person who doesn't want to see this is, of course, the number 30, Kevin Pitzinger. He had almost a 2-second lead before the caution came out in just 20 laps. He is storming away from the field. He does not want this pack closed back up behind him. That'll put the 44 of Justin Prescott to the outside of him on the restart. So he's got to get a good, clean restart and hopefully get away from this field. And the question's going to be, did he burn up his tires doing that? And did any of these guys in the back save anything? Let's take a quick look through the field and see who some of the biggest movers are. We mentioned Nathan Wenzel started in 13. He's up to 5th. Jarrett Curtis started in 10th, up to 6th. There's the 46 of Eric Laurendeau, started in 17th. He is up to 8th. And 2 cars back from him, the 07 car of Jeffrey Ramsdale. Had some problems in his heat, has had some bad luck in recent weeks, but he is definitely on the move. Started 19th. He is back up in 10th place. Those are the biggest movers forward in the race. And, of course, Tony Quadros and Paul McCorby, they both have had problems. Tony is now started in 5th, now back to 18th. Paul back to 19th after starting in 4th. Ryan Courier started in 7th. He is back to 14th. And our points leader, Randy Phillips, as we are about to go green, Randy Phillips started in 8th. He is back to 11th. He was further back, so he is starting to make a move towards the front. Pace car is in, and Kevin brings him down, gets a really good restart. Looks like the 32 almost got to the inside of the 44. That is exactly what the 30 car wants to see, them battling side by side. But no, the 32 manages to get clear. As we see 2 wide all the way around the track right now. The front 4, 5, 6 are starting to get single file. Looks like the 33 might be in trouble. He got it straightened out. He got a little bit loose, but got a little tap and got turned back the right way. And the 30 car continues to lead, but he is not opening up the gap just yet again. And as soon as I say that, he gets a good run off of turn 2. But the 44 manages to close it up in turn 3. However, the first 2 cars look like they might be opening a small gap on Eric Steele. Meanwhile, there is going to be a caution. Looks like we have a handful of cars here. That is Jarrett Curtis on the outside. He's got the 43 of Dana Shepard and Thomas Johnson right there with him. 33 bounces off the wall. The 07 collects him. Oh no, they collected the 12 car. And that brings us under caution, and these guys are pretty banged up. I would imagine we're about to see the first cars out of the race. And it looks like currently Jarrett Curtis, Tony Quadros, and Eric Laurendeau are all 3 on pit road. The 12 car of Tony Quadros. This is not a good points night for him. He was in 3rd place in the points coming into this race, but at lap 25 he is on pit road. Let's take a look and see how much damage his car has. And looks like he's not too bad. He's going to get back out there on the track. He may not have lost too much. He was still moving, so he may not even lose a lap. We will see how this plays out. He might still be in this thing once everything shakes out, and hopefully he can make his way back to the front, regain some more points. And it is still Kevin Pitzinger leading the field around. However, on that last restart, he did not get the run that he had gotten early in the race. He is not breaking away to as big of a lead right now. So the 44 of Justin Prescott, Eric Steele, Eric Pomasco, Jeffrey Battles, they are all still in contention. And would you looky there? The 6th place car is Randy Phillips, started in 8th, went as far back as 15th. Points leader Randy Phillips now back up into the 6th place spot. So he is definitely coming forward quickly. One lap to green. Pace car is going to duck in. We'll see if the 30 of Kevin Pitzinger can get away this time. Gets a good jump on the restart. The 44 is stuck up high, and the 32 is about to come underneath. Can't quite get there yet. And the 30 car starts to try and break away yet again. Right behind him, we've got the 32 battling with the 14 and the 471. Looks like that battle just ended with the 32 up into 3rd place. That moves the 14th back into 4th. And Eric Pomasco is the loser on that exchange. He dropped back into 5th place, but don't expect him to stay there long, as the 14 of Jeffrey Battles looks to the inside coming off turn 4. Can't get there yet. He is trying to get that angle through the turn, get down low, mid-turn, and come off strong. Can't quite get there yet, but he is right on the back bumper of Eric Steele every lap, just waiting for a mistake and possibly trying to force his hand. But back in 6th, there is Randy Phillips. He is still back there in 6th, but he is right on the back bumper. And it looks like these front 6 cars are starting to build a little bit of a gap. And it looked like the 471 might have brushed the wall just a little bit. We'll have to watch him as he comes back around. Looks like he kept it off the wall last time, but I do believe he got into the wall just a little bit on that last run. A little bit further back in 9th place. Daniel Sweeney and Dana Shepard right behind him. Daniel Sweeney started in 12th up to 9th. Dana Shepard back there in the 43. Started in 15th up to 10. Right behind them is the 64 of Jason Pelkey. He was up front earlier in the race. He's fallen back just a little bit. He started in 6th. He is back there in 11th now, but he is trying to work his way back up to the front. And we've got a battle going on here for, looks like 8th place, as Daniel Sweeney gets right to the back bumper of Ryan Courier. Just waiting. A lot of these races are just getting up on that back bumper, waiting for somebody to make a mistake, one little bobble, and you capitalize on it, but you have to be there to do it. And these two are two of the best. We've seen them battling each other week in and week out. Oh my goodness. Jason Pelkey got right up on the back bumper of the 3 car, managed to back out of it, didn't get into him, and looks like the 3 and the 03 are going to battle it out. Nope, the 03 gets a little bit better run off the corner. And in the meantime, the 19, Randy Phillips, he is now in 5th place. Last time we looked at him, he was 6th. He completed the pass on Eric Pomasco. He is working his way forward. Coming into this, he had an 8-point lead over Nathan Wenzel. Nathan Wenzel currently back in 7th, but the 3rd place car of Tony Quadros is now way in the back. Just trying to work his way back to the front. Actually, it looks like Tony might actually be doing that very thing. Let's hop back and look. There is Tony Quadros. He's currently back up to 13th. So that damage obviously not affecting him much. As you see, the brake rotors glowing. He is definitely starting to work his way back to the front, but he's going to have a handful of cars right in front of him to deal with. There's the 07 Jeffrey Ramsdale. He was caught up in the incident earlier as well with the 12 car, as the 12 makes the pass on the 58. Looks like Thomas Johnson's going to go back to 13th. Tony hops up to 12th place, and Thomas gets into the back of the 87 there for a moment. There is Thomas and the 87 car of Paul. They are nose to tail. Look like they got into each other just a little bit in turns 1 and 2. And the 87 got into the wall just a little bit, trying to get every inch of the track, use every inch of the track he can. And he used a little bit too much on that lap, but didn't seem to impact him. Back up front, we have a battle going on for the lead through about 5th place, as the 44 is starting to go backwards just a little bit. Looks like the 32 got underneath of him, and there is a line of cars waiting to pounce down on the inside. The 32 is going to move up to 2nd. The 14, Jeffrey Battles, he's looking at the inside. He makes it 3 wide coming out of turn 2. 44 backs out there, 2 wide coming through 3 and 4. Randy Phillips is just sitting back there waiting. The 471 of Eric Pomasco gets a little bit loose. This becomes a 3-car battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Looks like they're going to try and hang the 32 there on the outside. The 14 of Jeffrey Battles is now up to second, and Randy Phillips is going to try and move up to third, but caution is out. And this looks like we might see a little bit of a heartbreak. The 44 of Justin Prescott. He's been running top 5 all night long. Let's see what happened. As they get down into 3 and 4, he gets right on the back bumper of Pamasco, and the 03 gets right on his bumper and just gives him a little bit of the chrome horn and gets him turned around. They just had no space to maneuver there. It was bound to happen. And that's going to put the 44 back a little bit. Oh, Jarrett Curtis's wheel decided to reset in the middle of running. That's no fun at all. Sorry to hear that, Jarrett. Hopefully you'll be back next week and be running up front again. All right, still up front, it is Kevin Pitzinger, but on that last run, he was not nearly as dominant. I'm beginning to wonder if he's got anything left in those tires, and he's going to have his hands full on this restart because that 14 of Jeffrey Battles definitely has something left in his tires. He was charging through the field, as was the 19 of Randy Phillips right behind him. Eric Steele back in fourth. Eric Pamasco in the 471. He's back there in fifth. The 03 right behind him. That is Nathan Wenzel. So we've got the points leader, Randy Phillips, currently in second. Nathan Wenzel is second in points. He is back in sixth. Let's see where Tony is. Tony Quadros back up in 10th now. 31 laps to go. Will Tony come back into play before this thing is all said and done? Would not surprise me one bit to see him back up at the front. And with 31 laps left to go, just a quick reminder, don't go anywhere when this race is over. We're going to attempt a live switch over to the Outcast SR8 series at the Monza Oval. Almost 3 miles worth of bumpy, high-banked, high-speed track in cars that draft nose to tail all the way around, even without a restrictor plate. That is something you don't want to miss at all, especially on that very insane track. But it will be nothing if not fun to watch. Pace car is in. The 14 of Jeffrey Battles tries to get a little bit of a jump going down into turn 1 as the green flag comes out. He manages to get up there. We'll see. The 14 does jump into the lead. Can't quite get clear of the 30. The 30 is trying to fight back on the inside, but the 14 is going to clear him, and now they're going to have to deal with the Eric Steele and Randy Phillips right behind. Looks like Randy is going to take that third place spot. He is now trying to chase down the 30, and he is right there. The 03 is right behind him, and it looks like we've had a car go back just a bit. Looked like the 32 got a little high out of the groove. Eric Steele has slipped back into 5th place now. And the 30 car definitely does not want to make a mistake. He has Randy Phillips right on his bumper all the way around the track. And the 03 is right behind them as well. That means your points leader and second in points are right there together. Gets later in this race, you got to wonder, will the 03 car use that chrome horn to get a little extra points? We'll have to wait and see. The 19 a little wobbly coming off turn 2. He manages to get it under control, but you can tell he is pushing it to the limit. And the 30 is as well, but the 03 ducks to the inside coming into turn 1. That is Nathan Wenzel on the inside of points leader Randy Phillips. So this is a race for position on the track and some points in the season. 03 scoots ahead coming off of turn 4. Jumps down there in turn 1. He has cleared him, and he's going to bring the 32 with him. Eric Steele to the inside. The 19 of Randy Phillips is starting to drop back. Here comes Daniel Sweeney as well. And there is the 07 of Jeffrey Ramsdale and the 12 of Tony Quadros. Looks like he is in trouble again. He manages to recover it, keeps it in the grass, so the race will stay green, but there Tony was all the way up into 8th place. And coming forward quickly, that is another tough break tonight. 22 laps to go. The 14 is in the lead. Kevin Pitzinger is trying to stay with him. And the two of them are starting to break away just a little bit from Nathan Wenzel. There they are coming off of turn 4. It looks like there was about 4/10 of a second last lap between the 30 and the 03, but the 03 decided that was too much, and he has closed that gap back up just a little bit. Looks like these front two are faster on the front straightaway out of 4 through 1 and 2, but off 2 through 3, that 03 is coming. Right behind them is the 32. That is Eric Steele. Currently running in 4th. Right behind them, there is Daniel Sweeney. He has worked his way up into 5th, started in 12th tonight, and the 07 who had problems earlier. Jeffrey Ramsdale, he is now up into 6th place and moving forward. He started in 19th and he's up to 6th. He is charging to the front, and every time he gets knocked down, he gets back up again. And no, I'm not singing. No, just no. Right behind them is points leader Randy Phillips in 7th place. And Jason Pelkey back there in 8th place. And you know what? We never got a full ride around this track, so why don't we hop, once they come out of the turn, we will hop in the 64 car of Jason Pelkey in 8th place and ride around the track with him. All right, there they come off of turn 4, getting right up by that wall and immediately starting their turn back in. Getting back on the gas mid-corner, trying to stay as low as they can, coming down into the turns. Keeping those left sides below that line, it helps the difference in banking, helps the rotation. He gets to the inside of Randy Phillips, just quick enough to get down underneath and take advantage of Randy wobbling. And he's going to close back up on the 07 now. Believe it or not, that was 2 laps and 17 seconds apiece. That's how fast these boys are going around this track with 13 laps to go. And they have not fallen off their fastest laps much at all. Only about 3/10 of a second, as we've got a real big battle heating up for second place. The 30 of Kevin Pitzinger led the most laps so far tonight, but he's got the 03 of Nathan Wenzel right on his back bumper. That is definitely going to change up the points a little bit if they finish now. Randy Phillips in 8th, Nathan Wenzel in 3rd. If he can take second place, it's going to be an even bigger points battle. '03 is really pushing. He almost got into the wall. We've seen that several times tonight. He manages to keep it off the wall in the front straightaway, and he is carrying a lot of momentum around this track, trying to get up there, get back to the back bumper. And while these two are battling, the 30 is pushing extremely hard to try and stay in front of that 03. Jeffrey Battles in the 14 is opening up about a half a second lead. 03 gets right back to the rear bumper of the 30 for second place. Still cannot get the job done yet, but he dives it into turn 1 really hard. Gets a little squirrely coming through middle of the turn. Manages to save it, but caution is out, and that is one thing Jeffrey Battles did not want at this late juncture. Just when he starts to open up the lead, you Thomas Johnson fans won't be happy with what occurred. Took me a minute to find it because there's several cars involved with this one. There is Thomas Johnson in the 58. He was currently running in 9th, had some sort of problem, and just ended up stopped on the start-finish line. 44 collected him. Looks like he was in the air. Cupcake managed to get underneath him. The 17 got caught, and looks like the 21 as well. This late in the race, I don't know if Thomas will be able to recover, but he was really working his way up. So we'll see. Hopefully he can get back out there and at least get some points. Looks like we've got Thomas Johnson on pit road. We've got the 46 of Justin. Looks like Eric Laurendeau is on pit road. I do believe the 44 is also on pit road. He was caught up in that as well. 14 of Jeffrey Battles still leading, but now that will allow the 30 and the 03 to come right back up on him. Just when he was starting to build a little bit of a lead, he had about a half a second lead on these guys, and suddenly it's gone. Not sure what happened to Thomas Johnson, though. That was indeed a gnarly crash. Gnarly is a word I haven't said in at least 30 years, so thanks for bringing that one back. I think the production crew just rolled their eyes. All right, we should be getting one to go this time by. Yes, we are. We will see if the 14 of Jeffrey Battles will be able to come forward to continue to hold that lead, get away from the 30 of Kevin Pitzinger. I've got to think at this point Kevin Pitzinger has just got to try and hold on to second place because the 03 of Nathan Wenzel this last run was faster. Looks like they're having some problems getting lined up. Okay, here we go. Now they're getting stacked up too wide just as the pace car ducks on pit road. Jeffrey Battles takes him down to the green flag. He's got the 03 right on his bumper, helping him get past the car to the outside. The 30 car is stuck up high. He is going to go backwards. The 03 is going to move into second place, and now we are going to have a two-car battle for the lead. As third place, we've got the 07 car was in the wall on the back straightaway, but it was in the grass, so we'll have to see. I don't believe caution will come out. It looks like we're going to have a two-car battle for the lead. The 30 cars slip back to fourth. The 07's up in the wall. Caution is out. All right, there was a lot in this wreck. Let's see if we can unpack everything that happened here. The 07 was running with the points leader. 32 just comes down, catches his nose. 32 saves it. 07 doesn't, get spun to the inside wall. Tries to get the car going again. Almost run, has to back up on the track, and that is what brought the caution out as the leaders came around. They had to save it down on the bottom. But good job by everybody for not having a bigger caution, collecting more cars. So that was a good recovery by the leaders. Good save. And Jeffrey Battle still maintains the lead. 6 laps. It'll be 6 to go. No, it'll be 5 to go on the restart. I'm not doing math well tonight. Quick look through the points have definitely changed tonight. Randy Phillips, the number 19, is currently in 5th. He is your points leader. Nathan Wenzel is in 2nd. They were 8 points apart coming into this race, but I imagine that lead is going to shrink substantially. However, the 3rd place car, Tony Quadros, he is all the way back in 12th. He is working his way back up again. It seems like every time we turn around, he's been caught in something tonight. Eric Steele and Eric Pomasco both got caught early. Both have been battling all night. Let's see. Eric Pomasco is 7th. Eric Steele is 8th. So it will be interesting to see which one of them gets the position and gets to take the 4th overall in the points tonight. One lap to green, and Nathan Wenzel to the outside this time. Last time he was on the inside right behind Eric Battles and helped push him down into turn 1. Now we've seen it every time. That 2nd place car that starts on the outside is at a distinct disadvantage coming off turn 2. Cannot carry the momentum and goes backwards. So we'll see if Nathan Wenzel can break that trend and get to the front, or if Jeffrey Battles will be able to pull it off here at the end. They are leaning on each other, coming to the green flag. They both got a good jump on the rest of the pack. They are bumping into turn 1. Jeffrey Battles is not going to let him get that position. The 30 manages to slip up to the inside for 2nd place. The 03 is trying to battle back to the outside. Daniel Sweeney back there, and we have another caution with 4 laps to go. And this one is interesting. We've got the 3 and the 32 side by side coming off of turn 2. 3 drifts up a little too high as the 32 bounces off the wall. 3 gets sideways, and here comes a cupcake right into the side of the 3. They bounce to the inside. Couple cars check up back there and end up on the outside wall, and that is what brought us under caution. Looks like the 3 car manages to stay out. The 74 of Cupcake, the 32, all managed to recover, get back out on the track. Look and see, currently off track, Eric Laurendeau and Tony Quadros is off track again. Looks like he is in the pits. Let's go double check that. Yes, he is. The 44 obviously out for the night. And this will be another very interesting restart. We saw the 14 leaning hard on the 03 as they came to the restart. Actually looked like he kind of pushed him going into 1 and 2. They were leaning on each other so hard on that last pace lap, and they're holding back from the pace car now. I'm wondering, I do not see any hand gestures out the window quite yet, but I would imagine that some words are being exchanged about that restart. Let's see if this one goes a little bit differently as they get side by side, pull back up to the pace car. Both of them leaning on each other on the restart could end very badly for both of them and for everybody behind them, so we will see what happens here. Jeffrey Battles wants that win. The 03 of Nathan Wenzel wants the points. The 19 back there wants to see them both screw up so he can come to the front and take it. And Kevin Pitzinger just wants a lucky break. He's burned his stuff up, but he is still up there fighting. Pace car is in. Not leaning on each other this time. Green flag is in the air. The 03 gets the better jump on the restart. But the 14 has a preferred line, and just like we've seen almost every restart, the 03 drifts back a little bit, manages to maintain second place going into turn 3. Here comes a bunch of cars right behind him, but they are going to break away from it. The 14 of Jeffrey Battles, 3 laps to go. We've got a car sideways into the wall. I do believe it was Daniel Sweeney. Caution is out. And it was Daniel Sweeney as we see him there in the red and black. Looked like he grabbed a little bit of the wall, then tried to check up as he got into the 19. The 471 just couldn't go anywhere, turned him into the outside wall. That was just an unlucky break. The 471 had nowhere to go, and the 12 was trying to do the right thing and not get into the points leader, the number 19. This has been a interesting race for sure. They raced several laps, a couple of long green flag runs, but here at the end we're seeing several cautions as they are battling for those final positions. Looks like the 43 of Dana Shepard is on pit road at the moment, as is, let's see, Thomas Johnson. Looks like he might be out for the night. Trying to see if we can get a look at him. I do believe he is out. Justin Prescott looks like he might be done. So it looks like we've got 5 cars off track currently. Dana Shepard, Thomas Johnson, Justin Prescott, Paul McCorbury, and Jarrett Curtis all out of the race. That is 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. And up front, it is the 14 of Jeffrey Battles. Probably one of my favorite paint schemes, too. I just like that matte black paint and the gray flames. That looks really cool. Tony Quadros currently back in 13th place. Eric Steele now back to 11th. Looks like he got shuffled back quite a bit on that last restart. The 07 of Jeffrey Ramsdell, though, he is starting to make a comeback. He's up to 9th. Eric Pamasco up in 6th. Randy Phillips now up into 4th place. Nathan Wenzel in 2nd. And, of course, Jeffrey Battles leading them around. Although leaving them was probably the right word. He had quite a run and a little activity, a little bump in there on the pace laps. Should be getting 1 to green. Yes, we are. Getting lined up side by side. We've got some guys that are going to come forward very, very quickly. This is about to get really exciting. All right, green flag is in the air. The comment section is on fire, and we are underway. 2 laps to go. The 14 does not get a huge run. The 03 might be able to hang with him. Nope, caution's out again. Didn't even complete the lap. They may go to a single file restart on this one. Oh, this one is exciting. I'm trying to capture everything here. We've got the 3 car right there. Right in front of him is the 74 of Cupcake as they go restart. Looks like somebody just didn't get started. 3 car got a really good start. Got into the 74, who got into the 471, who got into the wall, and then the 3 car ended up in the wall and bounced off the 21 and then ended up rolling down the back straightaway. I think that's a pretty good summary. Quite a bit of activity for half of a green flag lap for sure. So we will restart again with 2 laps to go, essentially a green-white checker. And looks like no major change in position last time by, although it is interesting to note Jeffrey Battles did start this race in 11th. Nathan Wenzel started in 13th. Fifth place car of Drew Davis. Have not talked about Drew tonight. He started in 16th place in that 22 car. There you go, Chris Standridge. That 22 car started in 16th and has quietly moved his way all the way up to 5th. Let's see if he can quietly pick up one or two more spots on this restart. At the 14 of Jeffrey Battles will lead him around to the green flag, and we've seen some interesting restarts from the 14 and the 03. 03's got a couple of good jumps on the outside. The outside line definitely should carry the momentum on the restart, but we will see what happens. It has not been the case so far. Coming off turn 2, these guys just are falling back on that outside line as we get the 1 to green, and it looks like it will be a single file restart. That definitely plays into Jeffrey Battles. That plays right into his hand. He is sitting in the catbird seat right here because he will just be able to take off when he's ready. And if he does it right, he can leave the 03 sitting in the dust, catch him napping. Let's see when he goes. Pace car is in. He can go whenever he's ready. Green flag is in the air. The 03 caught the jump and gets to the inside as they go off into turn 1. 03 is way down to the inside, right on the back bumper, but can't get there. The 14 gets a bit of a lead as they come off of turn 2 and down to the white flag. The 14 is in the lead. The 03 is pushing for everything that car's got. The 19 right behind him is making a move for third place. And here comes the 19. It looks like the 14 is going to pull this off. The 19, will he be able to finish third? He does not. And it looks like Jeffrey Battles will pull off the win. Nathan Wenzel finishes second. Kevin Pitzinger finishes third. Randy Phillips fourth. Drew Davis in that 22 car. Man, it is a fifth place finish. Stayed clean all night. Stayed out of trouble. Great job on his part. Jason Pelkey in the 64 comes home sixth. Jeffrey Ramsdale finishes seventh. Tony Quadros, after being caught in almost everything tonight, manages to pull off an 8th place finish. Eric Steele comes home 9th. Dean Webb finishes 10th. Eric Laurendeau, Daniel Sweeney, Dustin Thibodeau, Cupcake DeCourcy, and Eric Pomasco come home 15th. Ryan Courier 16th, and 17th on back. They were out of the race. Dana Shepard, Thomas Johnson, Justin Prescott, Paul McCobrey, Jarrett Curtis, and Jonathan all come. And it looks like Cupcake is helping the 14 celebrate as we've got some donuts going on by the 19 on pit road. I do believe Nathan Wenzel did not pick up very many points tonight, but with only an 8-point deficit between them, I imagine every point's going to count at least this early in the season. All right, that was an amazing race by these guys. Extremely exciting racing tonight. So now we are going to attempt to do a live switch over to the Outcast SR8s, and if this works, great.